Hello and welcome to CIPD Bitesize. In this video, we're going to be looking at the unit 5HR03, which is reward, and AC3.3, which is explain the approaches to job evaluation. Now, as always, what we do in CIPD Bitesize is we break the question down into its component parts and then action points. And as you can see here, explain approaches to job evaluation. The sneaky yes, as we refer to it, is well apparent here. So approaches, explain approaches. They want more than one. There is more than one answer required. So when you're explaining the approaches to job evaluation, explain approach one, explain approach two. This is quite a light question in relation to a lot of the CIPD 5HR03 units. This is, you can break this down into two action points. You could have 150 words per action point. Normally you get around about 100 words per action point, but you get 390 words per AC. That's because there's 3,900 words in the entire unit and there's 10 questions. So that's 390 words per question. Therefore, you have 390 words to answer this. And from a verb perspective, it's relatively simplistic, which is explain, which is to make something clear, easy to understand by describing and giving information. So when you're explaining approaches to job evaluation, you explain approach one as your subheading, you explain approach two as your subheading, and you have a reference and a citation to back up your views and explanation for each subheading. You have pretty much fulfilled all elements and requirements for this particular question. So it's a really nice, straightforward, simple, tell me the approaches for job evaluations. And that's what they want you to do. Now, in terms of some resources, because I'm not going to dilly-dally on this one, some resources, we've got the CIPD fact sheet, which is job evaluation and market pricing. That is easily one of the best ways to understand job evaluation. You've got CIPD fact sheet for job design, and you've got CIPD pay structures and progression. Remember, CIPD loves CIPDs. Therefore, if you're explaining approaches to job evaluation to CIPD to get a CIPD qualification, use CIPD resources. Seems simple enough. And the way you lay your work out is you write AC 3.3 up here, approach to job evaluation one, approach to job evaluation two, whatever it may be, up to 150 words max, ideally about 100 words. Might as well put some in the back pocket for some of the more chunkier questions. And that's how we're going to approach it. Nice, simple. We're going to explain approaches to job evaluation. Now, probably the best way that I can break this down is to give you a bit of an analogy. So we're going to be a judge on a treehouse competition. Yeah, it's a competition for the most impressive treehouse. There are two main ways to approach it. From a judging perspective, we might do a showcase approach. We might do a ranking. All the tree houses are lined up, and the judges simply pick the one that wows them the most. This is similar to a ranking method in job evaluation, where all the jobs are compared overall and placed in a hierarchy based on perceived importance and difficulty. Or we might do a feature-based approach, which is a point system where judges consider specifics of each treehouse, like size, material, complexity, creativity, and safety. They assign points for each feature based on its importance to the treehouse, with the most points winning. This is similar to a points factor method in job evaluation, where jobs are assessed based on predefined factors, education, required experience, needed problem solving, with each factor assigned a points value, and total points determine the job's relative worth. There are other approaches like hybrid, where judges consider both overall impression and key features. This is similar to combining like ranking and points in a job evaluation, but the best approaches depend on specific needs and the number of jobs being evaluated. A bit like a treehouse competition, you might choose a ranking system for a small number of entries, but a point system for a large, diverse group. And think about this from a job perspective. If you're just wanting someone to do A, B, A, B, A, B, it becomes really easy to just go, okay, well, let's see who gives us the best vibes in terms of that. If you're going, okay, well, we're going to need to do this really complex algorithm, you might go, okay, well, we need someone that's good at maths, we need someone that's good at coding, we need this, and you might create, okay, well, we'll do a point system to see if anyone can solve this particular Rubik's cube. So when you're explaining approaches to job evaluation, it can be quite a complex thing, but just think about how you'd approach it in multiple different ways. Absolutely best to look at this unit. Again, explain approach one, explain approach two, explain two approaches, That's it for this question. Really is a nice, simple question for CIPD. So I'm not going to look to give horse in the mouse by going in any more detail and trying to confuse you. Best of luck, and we'll catch you in the next one.